Good evening, Internet. The Real Shroom here, and tonight I'm going to play some more Standard on Arena, and I'm a mama's boy at heart. That's why tonight I'm going to play some Abzan Mother of Bounce Control. What is Mother of Bounce Control? Let's take a look. Okay, so of course the Mama-san that I'm referring to is Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. I played this in my Tarkir Hatestorm deck last week, and this card just always impresses me how good it is. Not only it's a great defensive and offensive piece, it completely shuts down like other bounce strategies, you know, like all the Pixie decks that are very popular, but it shuts down so much other stuff too, more than you would think. There's just so much that triggers when it enters the battlefield, everything from like Deep Cavern Bats to like you know, Dragonback Assault that you play in the big team or ramp decks. So on defense, there's no card in Standard that's quite as good as this one is. And so we're all about leveraging the power of Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. So first things first, it's very expensive, so we want to ramp into it. That's why we're playing our Llanowar Elves, and we're playing 3 of Heaped Harvest. We're very focused on permanents that do things in this deck because, of course, we want to double up those triggers with Elesh Norn. Heaped Harvest is a 3-mana piece that gives a land and gives another land when we sack it to gain a little bit of life, which is great. That's why I'm playing it over, like, Overlord of the Green Overlord. So yeah, we want to ramp into Elesh Norn. We of course need to find Elesh Norn as well, and that's why I'm playing a 3 of Invasion of Ixalan, which when we play it for only 2 mana, lets us dig 5 cards deep for any permanent and put it into our hand. So this not only helps us find the Elesh Norn so that we can play it, you know, when we need to. Like as I said, all of our cards basically are permanents, almost all of our cards. So this can help us grab any kind of interaction that we need, whether it be discard, creature removal, enchantment removal, anything that we need. Invasion of Ixalan lets us dig pretty deep to find it. So that's why we're running 3. Of course, it gets doubled up if Elesh Norn happens to be on the battlefield as well, which I've never actually done before, but it seems like it'd be really good to like get 2 triggers off this and look for 2 different permanents. So that's great. So I mentioned the defensive part about it. The offensive part about it, of course, is the fact that you can leverage the bounce cards. So I'm trying this in sort of a bounce shell, an Abzan version of it. So we've got our Hopeless Nightmares, we've got our Momentum Breakers. You know, these cards are very extremely powerful. It's already been proven time and again in Standard how good these cards are. But imagine if you have an Elesh Norn on the battlefield. The Hopeless Nightmare makes your opponent discard 2 cards and lose 4 life for 1 mana. It's pretty good. Momentum Breaker makes them sack 2 creatures or makes them discard 2 cards. It's kind of ridiculous like how gross these permanents can be if you have an Elesh Norn on the field. That's what we're trying to do tonight. And of course we have our bounce pieces in Nurturing Pixie and Sun Pearl Kirin that'll help us bounce all this stuff to replay it again. Of course, these get doubled up by Elesh Norn as well, so a Pixie will be able to bounce a Hopeless Nightmare and a Momentum Breaker in order to allow us to replay both of them, which of course is very, very good. And then we've just got a whole smorgasbord of other permanents that are good to bounce. Since we're Abzan, we can try these cool new Abzan cards from the latest set, including the little baby Rhino, Skirmish Rhino, and the Severance Priest, who is sort of like a Skyclave apparition that goes after the hand. So I really like, you know, discard as a strategy. Take their best card out of their hand. If the Severance Priest dies, they only get an XX token, where X is the mana value of the exile card. They don't get their actual card back, which is why I like this card a bit more than I like, you know, say like a Deep Cavern Bat, which would also be good in this deck. But I don't like the fact that, like, I don't like the idea of a Deep Cavern Bat getting killed and my opponent getting back 2 of their spells that I've taken away. I'd rather them just get back generic XX tokens. So we've got that bit of Abzan removal. Of course, the Skirmish Rhino drains when it enters, and we've got its big brother, the Debris Beetles, that also are like full-blown Siege Rhinos that drain for 3 when they enter, hopefully doubled up by Elesh Norn, of course. And then we've got some other miscellaneous stuff in a Seal from Existence. That's just good catch-all removal. Exiles any one thing. It's very costly to remove Ward 3. And we've got a Lauren of the Third Path, which destroys artifacts and enchantments when it enters. And of course, everything gets doubled up by Elesh Norn, who we're planning to have on the battlefield early and often. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to abuse Elesh Norn in a Pixie strategy to an Abzan Pixie strategy to take advantage of a good array of different effects and to help us get our stuff out early with green ramp spells. There's a total of 23 lands in the deck, which is sufficient for our mana value considering that we're running all of these, we're running a bunch of ramp, Llanowar Elves, Heaped Harvest. We are also running Invasion of Ixalan to help us find our mana, so that's really cool. We've got nothing too fancy, it's just a mishmash of Abzan lands. We've got just like one Restless Fortress and one Restless Cottage as creature lands. Our deck is very like color intensive, so we don't have any colorless lands whatsoever. The sideboard contains 3 Authority of the Council against aggro. I really like this card when Elesh Norn is on the battlefield, giving us 2 life every single time an opponent's creatures enters is twice as good as getting 1. It's very, very good with Elesh Norn on the battlefield, so that's great. We've got Momentum Breaker number 4 and Nowhere to Run number 2 for additional creature removal against aggro. We've got a Kutsil's Flanker and a couple of Rest in Peace for our Graveyard Hate. Kutsil's Flanker is also, it's not bad against aggro because it can just gain us 4 life if we have Elesh Norn on the battlefield, and it lets us, target a graveyard or possibly just put counters on it or another creature when it enters. We got a 1 of Beza also against aggro. We've got 2 Surge of Salvation to protect our permanents against black decks, basically decks that are heavy on removal. A couple of, I mentioned the Rest in Peace along with the Kutsil's Flanker for Graveyard Hate. A couple of Terra Sunder is just a versatile removal spell that I like to run in Golgari based decks, and we've got a couple of Obstinate Baloths to help us against opposing Pixie decks for that time before Elesh Norn hits the battlefield, to just play those for free off of our opponent's Hopeless Nightmares, or just in general it's good against like Liliana the Veil type decks. And of course that gain 4 life trigger from the Obstinate Baloth gets doubled up by Elesh Norn. So that's the plan. We're gonna call our mom to double up all of our powerful triggers and see if that takes Orzhov bounce to the next level. This might all just be win more, but we'll talk about this in the wrap up. But for now, let's see how we can do with some Elesh Norn, Mother of Bounce. If you like off meta, off kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. John, Prominent Pioneer, will be our first opponents. We're not playing Pioneer though. We don't have any ramp. Oh, we have Heaped Harvest. Yeah, this hand looks fine. A little slow, but we're keeping. What a cool swamp. I like that. Intimidation tactics. So they start the discard early. They exile our Pixie. Okay. Ghost Vacuum. Well, we don't use our graveyard for anything, but they do get to, possibly take our creatures or anything as stuff dies. We would like to draw land number 3, of course. What are these sleeves? Are there Ashiok? Okay, let's go get our green. Grab a forest. We draw Elesh Norn, but we miss our land drop. So I guess that means we're fishing for land with our invasion. Okay. We'll snag. I like the white source, but I kind of want the scry. I'm gonna grab an underground mortuary. We'll surveil. A Llanowar elf? I don't think we want that right now. Archfiend of the Dross. Vacuums up our Llanowar elf. Okay, we could just know where to run the Archfiend, or Momentum Breaker of the Archfiend. Missing land drop again really sucks. I guess that's what I need to do, because otherwise they could play another creature and sack that. We gotta kill that Archfiend. Okay, they're just gonna attack with their land. We do have a Loran which can get rid of the Ghost Vacuum, because they are gonna vacuum up their, they did just vacuum up their Archfiend. So theoretically they could pop this next turn. But I'd be able to Kieran and Momentum Breaker it, so that wouldn't be a big deal. I want land. So let's go grab a Plains. Yep, they're an Unholy Annex deck. And they've got a demon. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of that Unholy Annex. We just can't let that sit for turn after turn after turn. I could bounce my Lauren. I think I do want to bounce Lauren. This Ghost Vacuum actually could be annoying if it gets a Lauren. Now they could tap out to... Oh, Phyrexian Obliterator. Okay. We'll take 3. Would have really been nice to draw some lands here. I could Pixie the Momentum Breaker, play it, and then Heaped Harvest. Maybe that's my play. Alright, play Momentum Breaker. If they have a fight spell in their hand, though, we're pretty dead. They sack their land. Yeah, I think I'm just hoping they don't have it. I think I'll actually attack this battle, get a dinosaur on our side. Nope, just another Unholy Annex. Sure. I'm gonna take 5. Okay, let's gain 3 life and get another land. We'll grab, I don't know, swamp. Momentum breaker. Finding land number 6 would have been so good. Maybe I should not have been that Llanowar elf earlier. Alright, so I guess we're gonna momentum breaker. Make you sack something. They sack their Obliterator. Then we're gonna Lauren. Get rid of Annex or the Ghost Vacuum. Probably Annex. They can't tap it to grab the Obliterator and crack it. So they could get back an Archfiend plus Llanowar Elf is still pretty good. But we're gonna get rid of the Unholy Annex. We could double attack the invasion. Sure. No, we don't want to attack. We need to chump block this demon. Preacher, sure. Duress. Takes nowhere to run. Cut down is their last card. Well, we gotta block this. We draw a tap land. I guess I play Mama-san. And we'll just see if we survive. Yeah, there's land number 6, so now they can crack the Ghost Vacuum. You can get a whole bunch of stuff. which I actually can't beat. Yeah, I needed to Lauren the Ghost Vacuum last time around. Okay, so I think we just want Momentum Breaker, Nowhere to Run, Tear Asunder, maybe Surge of Salvation too. Cut a little bit of this stuff. I think I actually want these Severance Priests. Maybe I go way down on the Beetles. Nightmare. Heaped Harvest. Elesh Norn? We can go down to 3, right? We got the invasions. Okay, his hand looks okay. Invasion of Ixalan is good. We'll keep. Duress. Well, good thing we have 2. I think we'll grab Black Source. Invasion number 2. Okay, let's invade. There's Mama-san. Still ways off though. I actually would have preferred to just get a land here. That would have been the best. But no such luck. I think I'm gonna grab Elesh Norn. I mean, she's what the deck is all about, right? Okay, Momentum Breaker is good. Let's play our Severance Priest. Alright, they have a Quasi-Revenant and that's it. Oh, I should have exiled it. I'm so dumb. Exile it. So they would have just gotten a 3/3. Alright, let's Momentum Breaker. Make you sack your thing. Invasion of Ixalan. Find land number 5. Shieldred. Alright, so do I just need to kill Shieldred now? Probably do. Unfortunately. Plain elf. It's gonna attack with their land. That's fine. Take 3. They have a Ghost Vacuum. Alright, well, we'll play Shelly Belly. Attack one of these invasions, I guess. Quasi-Revenant gonna give their thing the things. Sure. Alright, I have a lot of really good draws here. Tear Asunder. Is actually not one of those good things. Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Man. Such a completely awkward draw. I could just trade my Elesh Norn for this thing, which I might actually need to do. I just need a bounce effect to get my momentum breaker back. So I'm actually going to attack this dinosaur, this battle, and get a dinosaur. I will lose my pixie, but I'll gain a 4/3. I think it's worth it. I could have exiled that Revenant. I've never played with this card before, but I could have exiled the Revenant. I was thinking I didn't want to do it because it would give them a token right away, but it would have prevented them from doing this, and it would have been much better for them just have a 3/3 generic, not even flying spirit token. I probably should have torn asunder. Yeah, I should have torn asunder on their turn, because now it's too late if they go for their thing. But I can just tear asunder Shieldred, which is fine. Duress. Now they do the thing in response to my tear asunder. Wow. Opponent has just the right cards to punish my misplays. Oh, but now they don't have enough mana to activate the Ghost Vacuum. Okay, cool. Oh, they do if they tap their Sanctuary. Jeez. Okay. That could have been very bad. Okay, Momentum Breaker, that's a good one. Both creatures go away. Alright, you give me a dinosaur, you go over there. Archfiend, Alright, I guess we're just passing. We can gain some life from these momentum breakers. Shieldred. Alright, I really need a pixie. I Kirin. Llanowar Elf doesn't do it. Ah, man, really? We just died to their stupid Archfiend. Okay. Well, I mean, I made some misplays there. But, yeah, we just didn't quite have it that game. We're dead. I can't deal with their Archfiends. I just needed one more Momentum Breaker or like a Pixie or a Kirin, but didn't find it. Soup de Loop will be our next opponent. Be on the play. One lander, we cannot keep that. Mulligan. This hand's okay. We'll bottom one of these invasions. Hello. Let us surveil. Fabled Passage, we'll keep that. Alright. I think I'm just gonna go grab my planes this turn. Autonomous Assembler. Alright, grab a white source. Llanowar Elf is pretty good. Alright, let's Momentum Break. Play an Elf. There goes our Elf. Okay, Kirin is pretty good, but I need mana. Invasion. There's Elesh Norn. Grab our land. We'll pass. We can bounce either our Momentum Break him or our invasion. Geological Appraiser. Discovers Ren's Resolve. Finds them 2 lands they can use. Okay. Let's bounce, I guess. Momentum Breaker. Now I wish I'd bounced Invasion of Ixalan. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this. Make you sack. Attack for 2 on the Dino. I don't know, battles are such a trap. Is it ever really worth attacking them? I'm not sure that it is. Ride's End, okay. Siege of the Skies. Is this a true 3 lifelink flying? I guess we'll just cast another one of these. Mickey Sack. Another Geological Appraiser. Boy, Elesh Norn should be good against this. Itali's Favor. More Siege of the Skies. Elesh Norn. Boy, you would have been handy a little while ago. Those are all just human monks. Well, I guess I'm playing Elesh Norn. Hey Maven, what's going on? So they're getting their tokens. Yeah, I think we really need like maybe a couple of split ups in our sideboard because we don't have any way of dealing with a wide board like this. Brewing in D2. Oh, nice. Hey, what's up, Beach Kiki? All right, we have a debris beetle. Which is cool. We also can Lauren kill the assembly worker plus their Itali's favor, which is okay. I guess that's what we're doing. Get rid of that, get rid of that. The problem is their crew of flyers. Alright, we get a dinosaur. So when you brew in Destiny 2, do you brew like on light.gg or are you in-game like trying stuff out? In-game, sweet. Yeah, I barely have touched Destiny 2 since I got Elden Ring. Sage of the Skies, more flying lifelinkers. Wow. They had all 4 of those. And that's not an interest trigger. Okay. Well, we can't beat that. So we want Momentum Breaker and Nowhere to Run for sure. Yeah, a bunch of flying lifelinkers. Definitely something we're not equipped to deal with very well. I mean, I guess Terra Sunder can be creature removal in a pinch. Cut a Rhino. A couple of Rhinos. I'll cut one Invasion of Ixalan. We'll go down to one Severance Priest also. Try this. I thought they were both amazing. Okay. Hopeless Nightmare. That's the first time we've seen that card today. It's a good one. We don't have green mana, however. I would Severance Priest is also good. We do need to find green mana, but I think this is keepable. Alright, let's lead on our tap land. So, okay, we draw another green card. I guess the good news is they're unlikely to have like a Wiltleaf Liege. Oh, they're Quintorius combo. Alright, a Pixie, but still no green mana. Do I even play the Pixie? It's so much better if I wait for one of these cards and just making them discard another one of their 5. It does get a 2/2 flyer on the battlefield. Yeah, I think I'll Pixie. I think it would have been better to just use my mana to scry 2 and try to find a green source. Oh well. Geological Appraiser. So they're trying to do Quintorius Canned shenanigans. Virtue of Loyalty. Pia Nalar. Okay, there's a green source. I think I'll play a Severance Priest. Grab that Geological Appraiser. So they will get a 4/4 back if the Severance Priest dies. I guess I'm attacking. But we're not going to block. We're just going to play a Rhino. Okay. Invasion of Ixalan. Hope to find something good. Or do I just Rhino here? I think I'll just Rhino. It blocks their 3/3. Oh man, standard mana is the worst. Drain you for 2. We make a fish. They don't even... Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, they don't play in, Virtue of Loyalty? They do. So now they have a 2/2 Thopter. Which does kill my Pixie. Alright, let's Invasion of Ixalan. No. Ah, man. I absolutely need to kill this Virtue of Loyalty. So I could try to Invasion of Ixalan, hope I find an untapped green source. But I don't think I can even afford to do that. They're just going to get out of control if I don't do this now. So... doing a lot of playing catch-up, which isn't ideal. Ryleen Dawnbreaker. So if I kill this, they get a 4/4 token back. I'm gonna say 7 for now. Let's get something good here. Not exactly great. Swamp. Can we find something good, please? We ping ourselves to do it. Nowhere to run. It's okay. We're in very bad shape. Siege of the Skies. Okay, so I think we'll block here. Block here. Block here. Four, 5, 6, 7. That's lethal. That doesn't work. So I think we have to block here, block here, block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Something like that. Then we kill this one. Dead? Okay. Well, we don't have a way to deal with a wide board like that, so Rova will be our next opponent. This hand looks okay. We'll keep. I wonder if I just need to go with like an all fast lands, pain lands mana base. I'm gonna play my elf on turn 1. Maybe I can top deck an untapped land to cast one of these creatures turn 2. No. Let's Invasion of Ixalan. We'll grab this Verge. Okay, so they're Jeskai. We'll play a Severance Priest. So they're Control. These cards are all good. I think I'll take Lightning Helix. So if they want to kill one of my creatures, they do have to give me maps. Let's attack that. Alright, they kill my Severance Priest. And they get a 2/2 right away. Yeah, that was dumb. That was bad play. That's the problem with creatures in the vein of like Skyclave Apparition. They stock up. Hopeless Nightmare doesn't really do much against them, because they just get back everything with Shuko. Shiko, whatever that thing is. Let's grab a... What's Plains? Let's explore. Momentum Breaker? Sure, we'll keep a Momentum Breaker on top. Okay, opponent passes. So let's attack them. They have a temporary lockdown in hand, which will get our invasion. Dispelling Exhale. Alright, let's just explore with our Rhino. Seal from existence. We can keep a seal from existence, I guess. We don't really, I mean, we'd rather have Elesh, a land or something. But this could be useful later in the game. Another stock up. Alright, let's attack with our Rhino. Get lost. Okay, well, Momentum Breaker. Shuko. Gonna stock up. Yep. Well, don't have a spell pierce, please. Oh, you can't anyway, because this is not a non-land permanent. Llanowar Elf. Alright, let's kill your Shuko. Let's explore. Severance Priest. We'll keep a Severance Priest. We will keep a Severance Priest. You know what is really good against Shuko? Elesh Norn. Opponent passes. Okay. Let's attack. Hopeless Nightmare to you? They discard temporary lockdown, so they must have another one. Okay. Play a Llanowar Elf? Okay. Attack you. Lightning Helix. Jeskai Revelation. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess I should have played my Severance Priest. Rediscover the way, Abrade, Day of Judgment, temporary lockdown, get lost, all the removal. I guess it's Abrade. I think we need a plain elf. We're taking 6, it looks like. Beza. We draw land. Okay, about ready to scoop here. We can get rid of Beza, which we probably need to do. Let's explore. Draw land. Kirin. We'll keep a Kirin. Get rid of Beza. They exile a Get Lost. Yeah, this is a deck we're definitely not good against. Control. I was holding off on playing. I think we made a critical mistake in letting them get off that Jeskai Revelation. I was holding off on playing my Severance Priest because I was sure they were going to counter it, but probably should not have been that concerned. And I think we're pretty much toast now. Kirin. Yeah, I don't see how we come back from this. So I'm ready to, I had enough. So what do we want against that? We want Surge of Salvation. Maybe Momentum Breaker is better than Nowhere to Run. They have temporary lockdown as well, so I guess Terror Thunder is pretty good. Make some cuts. Actually, we want the Severance Priests. Cut Rhinos. Cut all the Nowhere to Runs. I guess we're just cutting Rhinos at this point. I like the little Rhinos against them, but the Debris Beetle's just better, probably. Alright, let's try this. So if we draw a land, this isn't bad. I don't think. We can keep this. I like Severance Priest. So this actually only taps for green right now, because we're gonna get a swamp. Pixie. Okay. It's our land. Miss our land again. Sweet. Okay, well, I guess we're doing this. Rather than discard the hand size. Which, I mean, in a way, kind of helps them. I mean, it doesn't... It's kind of neutral, because if they get down their dragon, they just cast whatever's in their graveyard anyway. It's possible that Rest in Peace would have been a good thing to board in, but if we just don't draw lands, it doesn't really matter. And we just don't draw lands. Okay. They counter our our Hopeless Nightmare. A Kirin that we can't cast. Dude, deck. What did I ever do to you? They discard a Beza. Oh man, this just makes me so sad. I don't think I want to cast my third Momentum Breaker. So I guess I'm discarding to hand size. What do I discard? Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn's kind of my secret weapon. They haven't seen it yet. I could discard a Kirin. I could discard one Heat. I'll discard a Heaped Harvest, since I have two. Beza. Boy, it should be nice if we had like an Elesh Norn on the battlefield when they resolve that. We still don't draw land. Are you kidding me? What to discard this turn? Terra Sunder, maybe? Terra Sunder's a card I could actually cast, so that was not a good choice, but too late. It has no targets at the moment. Oh, I could have cast Momentum Breaker too. I'm so dumb. I'm just like flustered because my deck's doing so badly. Okay, yeah, that was very poor of me not to play this. Seal from Existence? No, we'll bottom that. Momentum Breaker. I mean, I'm sure they had the counter to last turn, so... Yeah, they do. Well, yeah, good enough, good enough. So opponent's playing the deck that won the last regional championship, and I'm not drawing land, so that on a janky brew. So that tells you I'm very sad about how my deck is performing so far. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win under those circumstances. Semi Swagner the Virtuous. is our next opponent. Will be on the play. Hey, we have lands and like stuff we can do. We'll keep. So let's play a forest. Okay, so it's bounce v bounce. But we don't have really good bounce targets yet. Let's invade Ixalan. And let's grab Elesh Norn. Inquisitive Glimmer. There's a Pixie. Let's Heaped Harvest. Grab. Forest. Grand entryway. And the opponent's got a lot of turns of us not doing much. And we missed our land drop. Alright, let's just Severance Priest. Feather of Flight. Entity Tracker. And these are all really bad for us. I guess the Entity Tracker. And we'll play a Llanowar Elf. Yep, they have that thing, which we don't have an answer for. More hopeless nightmares, and we're dead. Okay. Flying creatures are giving us a lot of trouble today. Momentum Breaker. Nowhere to run. Tear Asunder. 4 cuts to make. Maybe Seal from Existence. Invasion. Big Rhino. Cut the big rhinos. This hand's okay. It has a removal spell and a bounce effect. Some rhinos. Yeah, this is fine. We need to draw lands. Okay, I guess I'll play my tap land this turn. A Pixie. Yeah, I want a Pixie. This stuff is gonna be great to bounce. Gremlin Tamer. Okay, I think I'm just gonna kill that before it does anything. We'll pass. I'd rather Pixie back these rhinos if possible. Another Gremlin Tamer. Alright, so we'll just Pixie back our Nowhere to Run. Inquisitive Glimmer is an enchantment. So let's lore in it. Attack for 2. Scavenger. Alright. Let's attack with our Pixie. Play a Rhino. And an Elf. Sheltered by ghosts. Gonna hit my Rhino. Okay. Okay. So I can tear asunder the sheltered by ghosts. Drain you. Alright, opponent's had enough. Yeah, I think we just run it back. No, we're not winning. Not so far. We won a game. I think that's the best we've done so far. This hand has no white mana. But it's very good if we draw white mana. It's slow, though. It has no removal or interaction. I think this is a mulligan, actually. Alright, this is better. At least we have nowhere to run. So we'll keep this. Bottom. Concealed Courtyard. Verge. Bottom this Verge, I guess. Scavenger. Alright. Hopeless Nightmare. Another Scavenger. Kirin. You only have 2 cards in hand. Oh, dude. I didn't plan that out well at all. I could have played my planes. That was so bad. I could have played my planes there to play my Pixie, and then I would have had black mana to Hopeless Nightmare. Entity Tracker. Okay. Hopeless Nightmare you. This can't generate black mana right now. Play an Elf. Attack. Ethereal Armor. They should not have that Entity Tracker on the board, except for my misplay. And of course they draw the series of draws that just gets them right back. I guess we'll Severance Priest just to have a Death Touch blocker. Yeah, we'll take that. pass. Another scavenger. Do we just kill this now? Well, we got a double block. We're dead. Well, you know what would have been really good against all this? Elesh Norn. So, are these enchantments? No, they're not. I can play Lauren. Bring this down to a 3/3. They attack with everything. I still take 5 and die. I can Kier in. I think I'm dead no matter what. We'll see. Scavenger. I don't think this is enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this keeps me alive. I gotta chump. Kill this. Take 3. But we don't have any sweepers or anything. So I think we're dead. Yep. Ooh, man. Ugh. JB Momo will be our final opponent. And that's a mulligan. Into another one-lander, which is a mulligan. Alright, I'll keep this. I mean, I have to bottom Elesh Norn. And a land, probably this Restless Fortress, because it doesn't enable our verges. Okay, red. Well, play our elf. Which they have a burn spell for, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Yes, they do. Alright, let's momentum breaker you. Rockface Village. Alright, let's play a Rhino. Get a full mouse. Double striking, no attack. Okay, we draw Llanowar Elves. We don't want another plains. I'm not gonna ping myself to play another elf, I don't think. Maybe I should. Yeah, what the heck. They have 2 manifold mice. Four double striking Heartfire hero. Well, I mean, if they have the Monstrous Rage, we're dead. So block. They don't. We draw a Razor Verge Thicket. Okay. Well, that's not gonna do it. They have this land also, which very, very cheaply gives the mice haste. Double strike. It's funny to think that, like, the Quarry Steel Cutter deck is actually better than this deck as an aggro deck. Because this deck is ridiculous. Witchstalker Frenzy? Okay, yeah. Cool. I think we should be good against aggro after sideboarding. There's the Authority, there's Surge of Salvation, there's Beza, Momentum Breaker, Nowhere to Run, Obstinate, Baloth. We'll cut Severance Priest, some number of those, maybe all of them. And Hopeless Nightmare. Maybe I cut one Elesh Norn, one Invasion. Maybe a couple of Kirans since I'm going down, or a bounce creature since I'm going down targets for them. Maybe Seal from Existence is too expensive. This is a very slow hand. We have like a turn 3 Momentum Breaker. And then nothing. We can bounce it, but I feel like that's too slow. Can we draw one of our authorities? I'm going to mulligan this hand. And this hand is probably worse. But I think I'm going to keep... I'm not going to go to 5. Yeah, this hand's real bad. Bottom, I guess one of these Llanowar Elves. Ugh. Okay, Portico. Nowhere to Run would be good if we had black mana, which we can get next turn. it's only a solitary manifold mouse. That's good news. Alright, let's Heat Harvest. We will decide to get a swamp. Another manifold mouse. Monstrous Rage. So we take 8. Alright, we draw a cottage. I think I'm just gonna know where to run on this. I'll go ahead and eat my food at the end of their turn. Grab another swamp. We draw land. Alright, let's play a Baloth. Tursa. So clearly a Monstrous Rage here. Oh, just a Witchstalker Frenzy? Okay. Alright, there's a Pixie. Let's bounce that. Do this. Kill the Manifold Mouse. Play a Debris Beetle. Which I can crew. Alright, crew our beetle. Which, if they have Monstrous Rage, we're just dead. Yeah, I mean, I guess we block this Heartfire hero. We're just dead anyway, because of the Heartfire hero. Awesome! Alright, so that was a pretty swift and severe 0-5 for Mother of Bounce. And a couple things about this deck. I think it's not as good as just playing Orzhov. If you want to play these busted cards, and maybe this is the punishment that I get for like playing such cheese, as you know, so much of the standard metagame is about like which decks can repeatedly play these cards over and over again early in the game consistently. And this deck, because it's a 3-color deck, and because it has, you know, a number of moving parts, is not the best deck in standard to do that. If you want to win games and you want to play a bounce strategy in Orzhov, you probably should just play Orzhov and not bother with the Elesh Norn package. That said, I do think that we ran bad and our opponents ran well, which is, it's not a good combination. I think that this deck could be made better as is in a couple of ways. First of all, it needs some split up in the sideboard. Probably like 2 split up. Cut some of this stuff. I think it should have at least, it should have another bounce creature as well. Like go up 1 Kirin and cut something. I also think it should have another ramp piece. Like you just want to get, if you want to play this strategy, you want to get Elesh Norn onto the board early, so you need to have a lot of ramp in your deck. I have 7. That didn't seem to be enough for tonight, so possibly 8 plus land number 24 would be better if you want to go this route of playing Elesh Norn reliably and quickly. But I think what I've concluded is the Orzhov bounce deck is just a spikier deck. If you just want to win games, that's probably the better way to go. I think there is a better build for Elesh Norn in this type of a strategy that doesn't lean on these early game cards, that focuses more on ramp and like more expensive cards. And that's originally what I wanted to play tonight, but like, I don't know, it just at the last minute I just kind of switched it to this because I was like not sure about the other build, and I was like, well, you know, Hopeless Nightmare, Momentum Breaker are really good cards, so I'll just play this version. And it didn't work out. So yeah, I think you will see another version of this deck, but I think you'll see another deck, but it will look very different from this version. It'll be more, well, you'll see. I have a definite plan for it. It'll feature more expensive cards, but probably a better plan overall for dealing with aggro decks as well. It'll be a completely different deck. It's not going to just be a worse version of the Orzhov Pixie deck, which I basically have concluded that's what this deck is. It's like the Orzhov Pixie deck, but it's much worse. It's less consistent. It has less of the cards that are good to go with Momentum Breaker and Hopeless Nightmare, and it's 3 colors, so it's just very clunky. And Elesh Norn, we really only one time got to see her do anything, which is where she doubled the Momentum Breaker, which is sad. But again, like, I think Elesh Norn is not the way to go for this strategy. There is definitely another way to go for Elesh Norn, which you will see on my channel in the near future. But anyway, that is the life of a jank brewer, you know. Sometimes you just get pummeled, and then you realize back to the drawing board or some tweaks needed, something along those lines. In this case, not completely back to the drawing board, but a total pivot in strategy. And I think this is, again, this is the price. This is my punishment for like trying to play these spiky cards when my initial feeling was like doing something much different and cooler. So that's what you'll see next time. Anyway, that's an 05 for standard Mother of Bounce. You know, that's the way MTG is sometimes. If you play a lot of MTG, you lose a lot. That's just the way it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me play standard Mother of Bounce. If you did and you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream MTG on my Twitch channel every Tuesday and Friday. There is a link to my Twitch channel in the description. I stream non-MTG content as well. So come on by sometime and check out the action. Hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later.